Welcome everybody to Hockenheim for round number 9 of the Formula Renault Eurocup. My name's Chris McCarthy, this race number 1, and that will be your pole sitter for the first race. It is Caio Collet, the Brazilian, in chase of Victor Martins, 33 points back, and he will start this race from pole position, his third pole of the season after Magny-Cours and Zandvoort. Sitting alongside him in second place, he started here from pole position last year. Victor Martins, the French driver, looking to follow in the footsteps in the likes of Pierre Gasly and Sacha Fenestraz as French champions. Won the first race here last year. Let's see if he can emulate that again this weekend. Martins is going to be starting from second place. Starting from third, British driver Alex Quinn, his first time here at the circuit, and what an entrance it's been for Alex Quinn. He's looking for his 5th podium. He said in his interview earlier he wants to get stuck in this race, and I'm sure that's exactly what he's going to do. Paul Aron will start from 4th place. He started here back at the Nürburgring when we were last in Germany. And on that occasion, Paul Aron would go on to finish in 2nd place. Let's see if he can do that again, or maybe go even one better. Franco Colapinto, reigning Spanish F4 champion, he will start from 5th place. 2 wins and 6 podiums so far for him this season. And with the misfortunes for David Vidales, he's gone up to 3rd in the championship. Fantastic performance from this young man. Tiemann van der Helm will start from 6th place. It's a place he's finished in a couple of races ago before as well. 6th at Spa for him, 6th at Barcelona as well. Let's see if he can do the same here this weekend. Adrien David will be next along, reigning French F4 champion, shall I say. Adrien David carrying a lot of confidence after the last round. Got a podium at Imola, his first of the season. And the confidence is clear for the young Renault Sport Academy driver. Next along is Gregor Salsi. Did well here last year, actually. Showed some really good place. Finished in 5th place in the first race last year. So Gregor Salsi, he's going to start from 8th. Let's see if he can get another top 5 finish here at Hockenheim. Well, there you can see the cars all lined up, getting ready to go. Thank you very much for being with us here at Hockenheim. A track that provided perhaps the race of the season last year. Let's see if it can do the same this year. Rishad Dejeris is going to be next. He starts from 9th place. He got his best result last time out at Imola with a 7th place finish. The French driver starts just inside the top 10, making it 3 Arden cars in the top 10. Starting 10th place, rounding out the top 10, Hugo de Wilde, one of the other Arden drivers. He actually led on the first lap here last year, took the lead when Martins and Piastri banged wheels up at turn number 3. He's going to start 10th. Starting in 11th place is going to be Amaury Cordial, 2018 Spanish F4 champion. Best result for him so far this season, 5th, and he took that at Hungary. Amaury Cordial will be looking for some points, only needs to get a place to do that. Peter Pacek will start from 12th place. Sauber Academy member is Peter. Best result for him so far this season, 4th. Starting just outside the top 10, will want to try and make places early in this race. Lorenzo Colombo started from pole position in the first race at Imola, but things just not going his way. Hockenheim was actually his worst result of the season last year as well, so not a place he particularly enjoys, and I think that is evident so far. 13th for him. Let's see if he can turn things around. Lorenzo Colombo going off P13 in this one. Joining him on row number 7, Michael Belov will start from 14th place. Michael Belov got a 4th place at Monza. He's only done 3 rounds so far this season, Michael. So nothing to lose, and I'm sure that will be the approach he takes to this race. Now, here's a man who needs to turn things around. He carried a 2-place grid drop, so did qualify 13th, drops to 15th after those incidents in race number 2 at Imola. Drops to 4th in the championship. A lot of work to do for him. Hasn't looked his usual self here this weekend. William Alatalo is going to be next along. First time for him racing at this circuit, so learning with every session. He goes off P16. Going off P17 is going to be Laszlo Toth. Hugely consistent driver. Tends to stay out of trouble. First DNF for him last time out at Imola. Laszlo going off row 9. Starting on the outside of row number 10 and rounding out the field, it's going to be Nicola Marinangeli. Nicola getting used to the car with every single session, and Nicola has done a few rounds this season. Let's see if he can get a personal best result. Got a point at Spa when he finished 11th because we had a guest entry inside the top 10 in Kaz Havercourt. Well, there we go. We look down the grid, and there you can see to the right of picture Caio Collet, and to the left Martins. It was a Renault liveried car that did lead us here last year, but that was Oscar Piastri who started on the right of screen. Victor Martins, sorry, who started to the right and on pole position. Oscar Piastri to the left in similar colours to what Victor Martins is in, actually. It's almost like looking the exact same grid, although it was Martins on pole, Piastri second that year, and a bit of wheel spin for Martins left Piastri going down the inside in towards turn number 1. Okay, lights go green. It's going to be a 30-minute race as ever, plus a lap. This isn't the actual start. Don't worry if you're just settling in. We're going to have the formation lap first of all. So cars get set off then. Race number 1. We're approaching the end of the season very quickly now. Just 2 rounds remaining. 4 races in total. This the first of them. In terms of the championship, Victor Martins leads by 33 points over Caio Collet. Franco Colapinto is only 13.5 points ahead of David Vidales, and it's Alex Quinn 5th, Salsi, Colombo, Alatalo, De Wilde and David. Your grid once again, let's go through it a little bit more quicker this time. Collet and Martins, Quinn and Aron, Colapinto and Van der Helm, David and Salsi, De Geris and De Wilde will be rounding out your top 10. Cordial and Pacek, row 6. Colombo and Belov, row 7. Vidales and Alatalo, row 8. Vidales could be one to watch in that number 32. Toth and Marin Angeli. 4.5 kilometre circuit. They're on full throttle round here for 74% of the lap. Bit of an easier circuit on tyres in comparison to, say, Imola, where we were last time, but the Parabolica run round turn 5 down to the hairpin really keeps the cars close together, and that was something that provided a lot of brilliant racing here last year. The first race here last year, particularly the first phases of that race, was some of the best racing I commentated on all season. It was absolutely fantastic. There you can see the track in full. And you can see, when you just look at that as a racing fan, you go, yeah, that's quick. There's going to be a lot of sections in that circuit that are going to be very quick. And as I said, 74% of it full throttle. This is a corner that can catch people out, though, because fast right-hander tightens on the exit, and then you've got that gravel trap on the exit, which a few people ran into last year, and then that gravel trap at the banked hairpin. 1 or 2 drivers found themselves in that last year, bringing out 1 or 2 safety cars. Well, there we can see then the cars making their way down the start-finish straight. There is our pole sitter. Caio Collet will start this one at the head of the field. Can he get his 5th win of the season? Caio Collet will be pole. Martins in the 92 pulls up alongside him. The 2 title contenders, the 1 of Collet in chase, needs to beat Victor Martins here. He's chasing him by 33 points. Quinn and Aron, Colapinto and Van der Helm, David and Salsi, De Geris and De Wilde. Then we have Cordial and Pacek, Colombo, Belov, Vidales, Alatalo, Toth and Marin Angeli. We await for the green flag at the back of the circuit. When we get that, the lights will come on. As you look down the screen, Collet is to the right of your picture, Martins to the left. Here come the lights, then we get ready to go racing at round number 1, race number 1, and we're off away in racing. Collet, a good start for him, and he's going to block early challenges from Victor Martins as we go in towards turn number 1. Alex Quinn tucked in there in 3rd place. We've got a battle going on for 4th place. Colapinto and Aron fighting for 4th place as we go down towards turn number 3. For the first time, we've got yellow flags out, someone off at turn number 1. We've got driver locking up as well, coming down towards turn number 2 there, but we've got, unfortunately, a driver off, and I wonder if that's going to be a safety car. We'll keep going as we are for now. Down round the Parabolica they go. Collet is still the driver leading the way as we hit the brakes down at the hairpin. Martins trying to have a look down the inside. Colapinto to the left of screen. They're diving down the inside of 2 people. Another car is off, unfortunately. Will get itself going again. I think that might have been one of the FA racing cars as we now come through the flat out turn number 7, and the safety car has indeed been deployed. There you can see the safety car leaving the pit lane. So unfortunately, safety car having to come out early in this race. And that because of an incident we had at turn 1. Oh dear, that's the number 27 of Hugo de Wilde. He started in 10th place. Sadly, he's not got very far before he has hit a problem. So Hugo de Wilde, his race ends before it's even started, really. And Hugo de Wilde, who'd been coming off the back of some great form. He's had 3 podiums in the last 3 rounds, Hugo de Wilde. Was looking to continue that kind of run here, but he's not going to be doing that today. So Hugo de Wilde is 5 cars back on the left of screen. So there you can see the leaders. We're looking to the red cars in the middle of picture. To the right of screen now, de Wilde turns in. Oh, and he's tagged, isn't he? So de Wilde tagged. Now, was that Pacek that might have gone into the back of him? Here they come once again. So you can see your leaders go through Colette, Martins, Quinn in that order, but further back, right of picture now, coming into the middle of screen, there in the red and black. That is a tag there for de Wilde, and it's the number 12 of Pacek who has indeed gone into him. So unfortunate there. That's going to be damage for Pacek, no doubt, and that is race over for de Wilde. Let's look at it one more time then. There you can see there was no such problems for the leaders. Alex Quinn got a pretty good start. Aaron, 4th in queue, was having to defend from Franco Colapinto. But there was the contact between de Wilde and Pacek. And sadly, Pacek is going to be carrying some damage. And looks like de Wilde's out of the race. So Colette, Martins, Quinn, Colapinto, Aaron, David, Van der Helm, Salsi, De Geras and Vidales are your top 10. And then it's Colombo, Alatalo, Marinangeli, Beloff, Toth. Cordial seems to be caught up in an incident as well. He has dropped down the field. There you can see Colapinto was ran a bit wide, didn't he? But there came de Wilde. You can see the right front suspension of that car already damaged. And the front wing is going to need changing, isn't it, of the number 12 there of Peter Pacek. So he's going to be into the pit lane. Is Pacek. That's going to be work for the MP Motorsport drivers. Oh, and dear, he hasn't even made it round. So, oh dear, Pacek out, de Wilde out as well. So with 2 drivers in and around the top 10 gone, that's obviously seen the rest of the field all move up, and one of the drivers who has really benefited from this has actually been David Vidales. He's actually up to 10th place now, is David Vidales, and he started all the way down in 15th. Now, he's the driver fighting for 3rd in the championship with both Alex Quinn and Franco Colapinto. The point system exactly the same as what we have in F1, so 25 for the winner, 18 for 2nd, 15 for 3rd, 12 for 4th, and then down 2s from there. Last point going to 10th place. So Colapinto, he currently runs in 4th place, meaning he'd scored 12, and then we've got Quinn ahead of him. So Quinn currently closing the gap to Colapinto, but at this stage would go past Vidales, and that would be a change for 4th in the championship. There's Peter, the Czech driver. Shame for him. He showed good form actually at Imola last time out. Got a 6th place finish to end his weekend. Hugo de Wilde there. Sadly, he's going to be watching from the sidelines, but I'm sure he'll be cheering for his teammates. Alex Quinn, who runs in 3rd place. Alex Quinn looking for another podium. Has Alex Quinn actually jumping into this championship? He wasn't due to race in this series, but Jackson Walls had to has been prevented to race in this due to the pandemic, and that left a seat that needed filling. And Arden, as they have done in recent years, put Alex Quinn in that car, and he has delivered. Well, some people might say, why would you put another driver in it? Well, 3 drivers working together in a team is better than 2 drivers working together in a team. So he's done a great job. He's in 3rd. Colapinto is going to be in 4th place. So to run through your top 10, safety car is in. It's Colette, Martins, Quinn, Colapinto, Aaron, David, Van der Helm, Salsi, De Geras and Vidales. Colette at the head of the field now takes over the pace, and very shortly he will be getting his foot down Victor Martins, can he keep up with him and maybe even challenge him? There we go. Colette is off. So we are back away in racing as we now come up towards the final couple of corners. There you can see Colette leading us into the final 2 corners. It's close for 4th place. That looks like Colapinto coming under a little bit of pressure from Paul Aron as they now make their way down the start-finish straight. Colette leading Martins, leading Quinn. Martins under more pressure from Quinn than Colette is from Martins as we now head down towards turn number 2. Colette leading Martins and Quinn. We hit the brakes now. Colapinto in the background. I can see Tiemann van der Helm here in the predominantly blue-coloured car there fighting away with, I think that's Gregor Salsi. So that would be a change for 7th place, or indeed van der Helm defending that 7th place from Gregor Salsi as we now make our way down towards the hairpin. Here's Colette and he is gone, isn't he? That's the big gap in terms of half a lap that we've only been racing, and we're 3 wide in the background. That's van der Helm to the left of picture trying to defend that 7th place. Oh, and no, it's going to be contact surely down the inside. Oh dear, and there we go. De Geris has been spun round. Unfortunate there. That's another Arden car facing the wrong way. Thankfully this time he gets going, and there was a car charging down the inside that never looked like it was going to get stopped in time, and that in the end led to the contact. Now who was this that came fly? Oh, was that Vidales? It was, and Vidales, that's another race where Vidales has been involved with an incident either on a first lap or a restart, and that a mistake from Vidales. He's come flying down the inside there, and that has resulted eventually in contact for De Geris. There you can see that's when the contact was made. The other car that had to run off, I think, might have been just trying to identify that other car, but Vidales, sadly, that was just a move for him that was never going to work out, and De Geris, unfortunately, has found himself facing the wrong way. I don't know if it might have been Cordial that was the other one. Oh dear, and he doesn't look like he's actually going to get going. Oh, there we go, in reverse, and Richard De Geris will get going at some stage. As long as he gets going before the cars get round again, then that will be fine, but he seems to be having some problems in that car. And here he goes. Yep, okay, we found it eventually. So Richard De Geris does get going, but not in time for a safety car to be brought out, because he left it quite late, and that means we now have got a safety car out. So safety car boards are out, and De Geris is going to have to let the field go past, and then he will pick up the back of the field. So safety car comes out once again. I'm sure that was the incident that they were bringing it out for. I don't think there's been any further incidents anywhere around the circuit, but the safety car driver has been busy so far in this race, and he comes back out. Similar scenario to Imola. We had 2 safety cars straight away in that race after an incident on the first lap and then an incident on the first lap of the restart, and Vidales has found himself involved in that again. Now he is up to 8th place. This is a replay, so this is Tiemann van der Helm leading Vidales. That is the number 93. A big lockup for the number 52 there of Nicola Marinangeli. Behind that was the number 92 of number 93 of Salsi, trying not to get involved, but a big lockup for Marinangeli. Colette's at the head of the field, Martins second, Quinn third, Colapinto, Aron, David, van der Helm, Vidales, Colombo, Alatalo, Marinangeli, Salsi, as we said, that lockup for him behind Marinangeli, and it's Belov, Cordial, Toth. De Geris now down the field after that safety car, which will be in at the end of this lap, no doubt. De Wilde, Pacek, both out of the race. So in championship terms, Colette is the chaser here. That was after the race 2 incident. He won race 1 at Imola. Race 2, he was just completely wiped out on the opening lap by a Vidales that had already made contact with Colapinto, was now out of control and went straight into Colette. That has caused a 25-point gap opening up in the championship, meaning we have a 33-point gap. So Colette has to do some chasing here, has to get some points out of Martins and has to do that quickly. If he can win both races here this weekend, you know, he will almost half that gap. And that's exactly what he needs to do going into the final round. Colette will be hoping here from some assistance from Quinn behind, maybe the likes of Colapinto and Aaron as well. He's going to take control of the pace once again. We know it's at the left-hand hairpin, and it's where he gets his foot down. That's where he did it last time. So I wouldn't be surprised if he changes that up a little bit this time. He may wait a little bit later in the lap. He may even go mid-corner. There you can see it's pretty much exactly the same, isn't it, in terms of restarts, and we're off. So Colette is going to lead us then. So for the third time in this race, we are back away in racing as we now make our way around the final corner. And Colapinto, just like he did at the first restart, finds himself under all sorts of pressure from Aaron, but another good restart from Colette. He leads us across the line. Martins in second, Quinn in third, Colapinto fourth. Then it's Aaron and David next along as they make their way now down towards turn number 2. Playing with fire on the exit there. There's the number 51 as we charge our way down towards turn 2. That's Laszlo Toth. We've got a lock up. That looks like David Vidales. That might have been battling away with Tiemann van der Helm as they now make their way round the Parabolica and down towards the hairpin. So Tiemann van der Helm is going to be getting on the defensive here from Vidales. Colombo in the all black colours tucked in behind. In the right at the top of your screen, you can see Colombo looking left and right. They're all queued up, and to the left of picture now, Aaron is going to make a move for fourth place. So Paul Aaron there getting through. It looks like Vidales has tried to go around the outside of Tiemann van der Helm. That has not worked, but they're going to be side by side. So Vidales has found some space. We'll pick them up when they come around shortly. Oh, this is Aaron here side by side with Colapinto in the red and black colours. That is Colapinto, and he's going to take that fourth place straight back. Aaron struggling to control that car momentarily. Side by side in the background, that's Van der Helm in the predominantly blue colours. There side by side with Vidales with the white nose on that car. Colombo in the all black behind that. Here we come back to your leaders. This is the battle for fourth in the red and black. Then behind, this is your battle for seventh place. And the number 32, that is David Vidales trying to get through. Unable to do so far. He's having to hold off Colombo at the same time. Up towards the final 2 corners we go. Lorenzo Colombo making very good progress in this race so far. Let's see if he can make any more as they now come onto the start-finish straight. Alatalo wants to bid into this behind as well. But this is Vidales and Colombo on screen as they make their way now down towards turn number 1. We're approaching half race distance here as we make our way down towards turn number 2. There you can see Victor Martins in your screen holding gap to Colette. When they came across the line, the gap was 1 second. Around the Parabolica we go. Top 3 are escaping. Gap from 3rd to 4th place, just over a second. As we make our way now down towards the hairpin. We're side by side up in the background. This looks like it's the battle for 8th place, and this is Vidales on the inside of Colombo. So defensive driving going on from Vidales there. Colombo unable to get through, stays in position as they now make their way up towards the flat-out right-hander. We're halfway through this race now. 15 minutes have gone, almost 15 minutes remaining through the left-hander now. And they make their way in towards the right. Vidales leading Colombo here. Colombo, this is not a good round for him last year. He was tagged on the opening lap here last year, sent him into a spin. He had to recover through from the back of the field. Similar situation for him here this time, albeit a disappointing qualifying rather than a lap 1 incident. Victor Martins, the gap it looks like it might extend here. Here they come across the line. The gap was about 1 second. Let's see what it is across the line, 1.1. So it looked to be extending through the sectors, and confirmation of that, it is 1.1 seconds is your gap. Quinn in 3rd place, Colapinto in 4th. The gap between Martins and Quinn just over 1 second. 1.1 as well, so even gaps between your top 3. There's Alex Quinn. We pick him up now. The British driver looking for his 5th podium so far this season. In chase of Martins, but the top 3 have spread themselves out here. That restart for Colette was crucial. It's given him the gap. He's not had to defend down here at the hairpin, but this is a battle that is starting to erupt. Aaron in the 91 we saw there momentarily. He's in 5th place. Oh, that's Van der Helm getting out of shape. Vidales likewise. Colombo 3rd in queue. Alatalo is behind that. He collecting the last of the points so far in this race. On the brakes now they go into turn number 8. Here's your leaders once again. And Collect really starting to get the hammer down now, isn't he? Looks like he's extending his gap further here. 13.5 minutes are on the clock. There you can see the gap has almost doubled in just 2 laps. Fantastic stuff. So since that restart, Collect's almost doubling his gap. Doing some fantastic driving. Here's the young Brazilian. Driving of someone who is in chase of a title here, isn't he? Collect, a very determined character when you go and speak to him. He knows the ability that he has. And sometimes not all drivers do that. You get a lot of very humble drivers, but some drivers out there, they're quick and they know they are quick, and that is someone who Collect is. When I speak to him, that's what I pick up from him. It's an air of confidence he carries in his driving. Last year, I remember going to speak to him at this event, and I was talking to him about winning the rookie title, and he not like he didn't care about the rookie title, but it was the main title he wanted to go for, and he said to me coming into this season that it was the main title he was going for and nothing else. Martins likewise though, reigning vice champion with Oscar Piastri off elsewhere. We'll pick that up though, as this is Colombo to the left of picture, going down the inside here of David Vidales, and through he goes. So Lorenzo Colombo goes through. That a change for 7th place. Colombo, good season for him last year. Hasn't quite had that same amount of luck and form that he carried last year, but he's doing well in this race. We're side by side here. This is Colombo. Oh, and behind that, side by side as well, that's the number 71 you can see there of Amaury Cordial just being run slightly wide. Amaury Cordial in a battle with Michael Belov as they now make their way up towards the final couple of corners. We go back with our leader, Caio Collet. He making his way around the final corner now. 2/3 race distance almost complete here as he heads up towards the start-finish line. And he's carrying some pace that is just unmatchable. 1.4 seconds, a further 0.3 in terms of gap extension. The gap between Martins and Quinn staying exactly the same though. Colapinto 4th, Aaron next. Hadrian David is now in 6th place. Van der Helm 7th with Colombo, who's going to be trying to chase him down. Colombo has now got Vidales out of the way, and he's going to be setting his sights on Tiemann Van der Helm. Alatalo in 10th, and he's got a gap to Salsi, who has Marinangeli, Belov, Cordial. We just picked up that battle slightly when they were 2x2 going into the turn 8 left-hander. Are we going to see something similar on this lap? Here we go, and this is that aforementioned battle. There you can see in the number 3, that is Michael Belov. Cordial to the left of picture has made contact, and Belov goes round. Cordial trying to dive down the inside there, and unfortunately the number 3 of Michael Belov has been turned round. Innocent victim in that was Belov. He gets going once again. I'm sure we'll pick up a replay in just a second, but that looked like an over-ambitious move, if not a mistake, from Amaury Cordial. So he's on the left in the number 71. He dives down the inside. He's already lost control of the car, and Michael Belov, he drives straight into the side of him. Here's another look at it. There you can see Belov was trying to do another move of his own. Cordial, sorry. Trying to get past Marinangeli, and it turned into almost a lunge down the inside of Belov there. Shame that from Amaury Cordial. So Belov, another driver who's going to drop to the back of the field. Michael Belov. Shame really, he's had really good pace the times he has raced in the championship so far this season. 4th and 5th at the opening round for Belov, but he's not going to be finishing anywhere near there in this race. We enter the final 10 minutes of the race. Battle developing here for 5th place in the background. That is Paul Aron and Hadrian David. Through shot they go. This is Tiemann van der Helm. He's now got Lorenzo Colombo behind him. So Colombo, who has passed Vidales, chased the gap down now to van der Helm. And here he goes. He's going to pull to the outside there, hitting the number 53. Is he going to try and go around the outside? Can't quite do it. He's going to try and get the switch back on van der Helm. Van der Helm to the right of picture. He's going to be leading this battle now, going into the right-hander. Up towards turn 11 we go. Van der Helm in the 73. Colombo just behind. We pick up now a battle just ahead of that. That's the number 17 we can see in a picture. Just making their way up through the chicane. Just under 8 minutes to go. Hadrian David, we can see he battling away with Paul Aron. These two will know each other from karting. Remember seeing these two in the FIA Karting European and World Championships, both very successful in that series. And Hadrian David, now the pair of them racing with each other in the Formula Renault Eurocup. And currently they are in a fight for 5th position in what is round number 9, race number 1. Two drivers with backing all the way from the top as well. One from Mercedes, one from Renault. Here's another look at Alex Quinn. 3rd place, still trying to get this gap down to Martins, but it's just staying up sort of 1.1, 1.2 seconds, and it's not budging. This is where the action is going to come from. Aron ahead of David. David closing in under brakes, but not enough to make a lunge down the inside. Just over 7 minutes to go here at Hockenheim. It's the first of 2 races for the weekend. Out front, Colette leading Martins, trying to chase him down in the championship. The gap currently would close by 7 points if it stays as it is. Gap is 33, we'll go down to 26. We've got a further race tomorrow as well as the final round on top of that. But this is a battle from 2 drivers who you have to say will be in that situation, no doubt, potentially next season. Aron and David, up-and-coming drivers who have made the jump out of the F4 Championships and already are fighting for positions well inside the top 10. Hadrian David just running a little bit wide there. The reigning F4 champion turns his way in towards turn number 1. Oh dear, car off there, gets himself back going. That looks like Nicola Marinangeli. That's a shame. He was having a great run in this race, so he is the car ahead, or behind, sorry. Oh, loses it under braking, and there we go. He was lucky to get out of that gravel trap, because you can get quite easily stuck inside that gravel trap. And if that happens, then we see the safety car back out. But Marinangeli managed to keep his foot down, managed to keep some sort of control of the car, but real shame. Here we go. Coming in towards the braking zone, car behind, and yeah, you can see lost the rear under braking. And Marinangeli did well to avoid the barriers and avoid getting beached. Laszlo Toth was the car ahead of him that Marinangeli was fighting with. Those two started this race from row number 9. You can see De Juris going through as well. Just over 5 minutes to go now. That looks like the ART team watching on. Victor Martins running in 2nd place, their driver. Gregor Salsi, another one of theirs, but they've also got Paul Aron out there as well. Down the start-finish straight. Colette, Martins, 2 seconds the gap now, and Martins is extending his advantage over Quinn. It's gone up to 1.7. Colapinto 4th. And then Aron and David battling for 5th place. Tiemann van der Helm still under pressure here from Lorenzo Colombo. Vidales in 9th. Alatalo in 10th place. He closing the gap for David Vidales as well. So we could have a gap, a battle for 9th place developing. This is a battle for a late 11th place. Gregor Salsi ahead of Amri Cordial. Cordial pulls to the left-hand side of our screen, and Cordial is going to get this one done. Is he in danger of running slightly wide? Salsi's going to try and get the run on the exit. But for now, it's going to be Cordial ahead. But we've got the long run round the Parabolica now, and there you can see Salsi already pulling to the left-hand side of screen. He's going to be on the inside now as we look at the shot. Down towards the braking zone. Southsea to the right of our picture. Cordial holding on the inside. Round the hairpin we go, and Cordial has now got that move complete. So did the move down at turn 2. Had to hold off challenges down at the hairpin, but he's got the move done. And that is a place gained for Amaury Cordial. That is him now up to 11th place. 1 place out of the points though, so he'll be hoping for some battles ahead. Next on track for him is William Alatalo, who is a couple of seconds up the road. Here's a replay then. Amaury Cordial pulling to the left-hand side of screen. Looked like he'd gone in too hot there. You can see pulling over to the right, taking a tighter line in, which suggests he was struggling to get the car slowed down. And there you can see that was where he defended into the hairpin. Slow-mo shot here. We can see Colette coming through turn number 1. On the edge, isn't he? Look at that. They are allowed to do that. For anyone thinking track limits, that is allowed. You are allowed to go all 4 wheels off at that corner and use the full width of that curb. Past that is where you could get yourself into hot water, but Colette coming in to the hairpin now. Looks set for a potential lights to flag win here. Colette, who won at Imola, was his 4th win of the season. Took a win at Monza, Magny-Cours and Zandvoort as well. His wins have been scattered through the season. He hasn't had a real kind of section in the season where he's dominated. He's always been there or thereabouts on the podium. He's only had 2 rounds this year where he hasn't finished on the podium, those being the Nürburgring and Spa, but at both of those rounds he's been inside the top 5, at least on 1 occasion. Very consistent driver, and you can see why he has the backing from Renault. But currently, oh dear, that's the number 93 of Gregor Salsi that's off. Now he was battling away with Amaury Cordial, so are we going to see a stricken Amaury Cordial? That looks like it's down at turn 8, and I imagine that's going to be a move that's gone wrong. An attempted move down the inside. Oh, that's actually suspension broken, isn't it, on the front right, so that means we've had contact. And that is race over for Salsi, and the slim chances of a points finish have just completely vanished now. And the number 93 out of the race. If it's been caught, we'll see a replay. Okay, here we go. And, well, how odd. Now, there must have been contact somewhere else for that to happen. And there you can see straight on for Gregor Salsi. So, had he picked up damage further back and it developed into an incident that's seen him out the race, who knows, but we won't dwell on it too much longer. We'll go back to what we do know for certain, and that is that our leader is Caio Collet in this race. He has 30 seconds plus 1 more lap to go. Martins is second, Quinn is third. These two split by 3.6 seconds, and then it's about that until we get to the next driver on track, which is going to be Franco Colapinto. And for Franco Colapinto, in terms of his battle to try and get 4th in the championship, this is a very good day for him, with Vidales hitting troubles. So in terms of the battle for 3rd place, this is good news for Colapinto. That said, he does finish behind Alex Quinn, so Alex Quinn's going to take just a few points out of him, 3 to be exact. Down towards the braking zone at turn 2 for the final time. The gap between the 2 leaders has come down ever so slightly, but I'd say that would be Collet just taking his foot off the gas slightly and taking less risks where he's able to. This has been quite a sensational performance from him. He's had to deal with 2 safety cars in this race, but he's dealt with them perfectly. As much as we are throwing, deservedly, all the praise on Collet, we have to say, as a championship leader, Victor Martins has driven very well. He knows he's got a gap of 33 points, and he's driven like someone who's saying to Collet, you know, you want to catch me, you're going to have to go and win this race. He's kept the pressure on him, and that's been great to see. Here's a little battle for 5th place. That's going on, though. Aaron and David, 2 of the young guns in the championship. They turn their way in towards turn number 8. That one is surely going to go all the way to the line, but approaching that start-finish line very shortly is going to be Kaio Collet. He has a job to do in this championship. He has a 33-point margin to close down, but he has started to close that down right here in the penultimate round of the season. He comes round the final corner, and for the 5th time this season in Formula Renault Eurocup, as we go up towards the line, they're going to have one more lap, of course, aren't they? Apologies, getting a little bit too excited there. Martins is 2nd place. Oh dear. Quinn 3rd place. There we go. I guess you could call that a dress rehearsal. You know what's coming in the lap time. So that means we are going to have one more lap to sort this battle out between Aaron and David. They're going to have that run down towards the Parabolica, aren't they, to sort themselves out. And I'd say Hadrian David, as they came across the line, was only 6/10 back. So he's close enough to put in a challenge here. Look to the top of your screen. You might have just seen them almost neck and neck. You would have seen Colapinto first. If they're close enough to mount a challenge. Oh dear, that's Saucy. We saw him a lap or 2 ago. And Gregor Saucy is now watching on from the sideline, sadly. Let's see. Oh dear. Now, who is that? That's stranded. I hope that's not Aaron, or looks like it potentially could be Aaron. Oh no, it is Paul Aaron. That's a lunge down the inside from David, and one that was never going to work. Oh dear, Paul Aaron is out of this race on the final lap. He has been taken out by Hadrian David. Oh dear. Well, checkered flag, take 2 then. Here comes Kaio Collet then. For the 5th time this season in Formula Renault Eurocup, it's going to be the top step for the Brazilian, and the chase has begun. Out of the final corner he comes, and Kaio Collet takes the checkered flag and takes the race win. 2nd place for Victor Martins, 3rd for Alex Quinn. Another podium for him, 5 podiums for him so far this season, and another podium for Victor Martins. I've lost count of how many he's had now. Colapinto 4th, Hadrian David a provisional 5th place, Tiemann van der Helm 6th, Colombo a good performance from him to come through from 13th to 7th, Vidales 8th, although he was involved in 1 or 2 incidents, Alatalo 9th, Cordial 10th, Aaron down in 11th place, and he will not be happy at all with what's happened there. There's Michael Belov. He had problems earlier in the race, and Michael Belov will be classified down in 13th place. Laszlo Toth in 12th. Marin Angeli 14th. De Juris will be in 15th. Saucy, De Wilde, Pacek, your non-finishers. Well, there is your winner in the number 1 car. The number reflecting his finishing position. Will it reflect where he finishes in the championship? He follows in the footsteps of the likes of Scott Speed, Kevin Corjus, Max Futrell in terms of Hockenheim winners. Those guys all taking back-to-back wins here at Hockenheim. And when they did that, they would go on to become champion. Can Collet do something similar? Martins took the win here last year along with Alex Smoliart. A good start to the weekend for him. Victor Martins, 2nd place. Damage limitation with Collet winning, isn't it? Collet takes 7 points out of him, bringing it down to 26. If the same happens tomorrow, he's going to still have about 20 points in his pocket going into the final round, meaning if he just finishes 2nd, he wins. So Collet needs to win, and he needs help. Alex Quinn then, another podium for him. Fantastic performance from the British driver. 5 podiums now this season. Alex Quinn gets that Arden car to 3rd place. Victor Martins had great pace, didn't quite have enough though to challenge Kaio Collet. Nevertheless, the championship leader, 2nd place in race number 1. But taking the race win, Kaio Collet, the Brazilian driver, 5 wins this season, and he brings the gap down to Victor Martins. Part 1 complete. needs to complete part 2 tomorrow when we go racing, though. Well, there you have it. Race number 1 finished. Fantastic race it was. Full of drama, wasn't it? There was plenty going on out there. Well, there may be some drivers having words with each other down in the paddock, because there was quite a few incidents in that one. It was a event-filled race, wasn't it? It was a race that reflects where we are in the season, I think. You know, this is the penultimate round. It's historically been where we host the penultimate round of the season. Confirmation of your result, by the way. Colette, Martins, Quinn, as you know. Colapinto 4th, David 5th, Van der Helm 6th, Colombo 7th, Vidal is 8th, Alatalo 9th, Cordial in 10th place. Point for Cordial in this one. Behind that, Aaron, bitterly disappointed with that. Toth 12th, Marinangeli 13th, Michael Belov, the first of many non-finishers, De Juris, Salsi, De Wilder, Pacek, the others, as the sun sets here at Hockenheim. And Colette, oh, there we go, climbs onto the car and he wins the race, just like he did at Imola. Race 1 victory. And he's going to be carrying a huge amount of confidence now going in towards race 2. Qualifying will be in the morning. (9:40 local time is when we will have qualifying. 4 local time here in Germany is when we'll go racing again tomorrow. Exactly the same timetable we did today. There's Colette behind, or next to him, shall I say. Behind him, as we look at screen, is Martins. To the right here in the red suit, that is Alex Quinn. And they're your top 3. Well, not quite the top 3 in terms of championship order, but 3 drivers who could definitely fill those positions by the time we get to the end of the season, because Alex Quinn particularly, he will, I believe, go past David Vidales in the battle for 4th. But very shortly, I think we're going to be hearing from Caio Collet as he prepares to be interviewed there. There you can see him. Caio Collet, our race winner. And currently being interviewed down there. And there's Caio Collet. Celebrations begin then down at RSGP. Victor Martins having his interview next. We'll hear from Alex Quinn. Here he comes now. Alex Quinn looking to get stuck in, and that's exactly what he did this weekend. And that your top 3 then. Colette, Martins and Quinn. Podium celebrations will take place next. But I'd say it was a race of 3 drivers at the front that were giving it everything, weren't they? Locking horns all the way. And when one went quicker, the other responded. When one closed the gap, the other opened it again. And it became a bit of a stalemate, didn't it, out front, really. Colette pulled a margin of around 2 seconds and then just held it. Martins would sort of close the gap a bit. Colette would keep it at 2 seconds. Quinn, in the end, fell back slightly from Martins as he did everything he could to try and close the gap. But in the end, just wasn't quite able to get there, so they'll head up onto the podium very shortly. Let's just reflect on some of the other finishes, though, while we are seeing the drivers make their way up there. So Colapinto, fourth for him. Championship-wise, very good result for him. He in that fight for third. And Colapinto in recent rounds, I mean, he took a podium in the second race at Zandvoort, and since then he's now had 4 more at Barcelona, Spa, Imola, and now here. He's just hit sensational form, Colapinto. Spanish F4 champion, then went and did Toyota Racing Series, finished third there, Colapinto, and now here, it's, you know, he's really started to get used to the car and, you know, gel with the car in the second half of the season, which has been great to see. Hadrian David, of course, fifth. Well, after that incident, it's hard to know if Hadrian David is actually going to stay there or not, because I think it was quite evident which way I saw it, but Hadrian David, nevertheless, provisionally 5th place for him, and it was a great battle with Paul Aron. Behind that, Van der Helm, 6th place. That a very good result, I have to say, for Van der Helm. He's had 3 of those now in recent rounds. 6th place is Barcelona Spa, and then here as well. And then Colombo, 7th place. Vidales in 8th place, Alatalo 9th, Cordial finishing in 10th place. But we are supporting the DTM here this weekend, as you might have worked out, and the big day for them, championship-wise, tomorrow, and indeed a big day for us as well, as the chase for Colette continues in his attempts to close the gap to Victor Martins, who currently leads the way. But